Hey everyone, welcome back to another PNSO review. Today we're taking a look at my favorite tyrannosaur species of all time, Colethe Daspletosaurus. So obviously I was very excited when PNSO announced this Daspletosaurus. It's been a favorite theropod of mine for a very long time. And it seems like PNSO lately is shifting towards releasing, multiple figures that are, very closely related. They already did it with the Carcharodontosaurs, with Moplosaurus and Giganotosaurus and Varaxes, and now they're doing it again with the Tyrannosaurs. They released Daspletosaurus and Lithonax back to back, and the rumor is that there's an Albertosaurus and Gorgosaurus along the way. So I ended up picking this figure up from PNSO's AliExpress store. It retails for around $39. I prefer going through their AliExpress store because their shipping is cheaper than ordering from their Amazon storefront, or if you have Amazon, you can just be patient, which I'm not, and wait for it to actually be available on Prime to save money on shipping. But I'll leave a link down below to their AliExpress store if you want to pick this figure up for yourself. So let's go over the package really quick before we take a closer look at Cole. We got Cole all displayed front and center on the package. It is part of the Prehistoric Animal Models line. It is number 73. On the top, we have a close-up shot of Cole's head, and then inside the box, you do get a little brochure with some information about Daspletosaurus. There is a lot of product shots in here. Let's get the camera to focus in on that for a second. Blah, blah, blah. Pictures of Daspletosaurus, how to draw Daspletosaurus. Pretty much, a lot of pointless stuff for us collectors. And then inside the box, we do get a poster. They've gone away from the original artwork that used to come with these. It's just a promotional shot of the figure now. I really don't care about any of that. So enough about the packaging. Let's take a closer look at this figure. And here is a closer look at Cole. And I have to say, a mighty fine looking figure. It is sculpted in a very active pose. You have one foot lifting off the ground like it's about to take another step forward. It balances pretty good, but obviously you got to use those display rods that come with it so these figures don't warp over time. The color scheme, PNSO, I've always kind of got on them that they do use a lot of browns, and these tyrannosaurs, well, this and the Lithonax have a lot of brown on them. But I think it works. These are large animals. They weren't really super brightly colored in real life, most likely. But I do like vivid dinosaur figures. But, I'm okay with these dull earth tones, and, the whole body is just covered in these dark chocolate brown stripes, highlighted by a very light brown base coat underneath all that. The head is beautifully sculpted. It does have the very large forearms that Daspletosaurus was known for. My only other issue with this figure is, and it's not an issue anymore, it just looks a little skinny for Daspletosaurus. It did coexist with Gorgosaurus, and I always kind of envision Gorgosaurus, Albertosaurus, more looking like this lean, more agile theropod. Daspletosaurus was probably a little bit more of a heavyweight to tackle some of the ceratopsians and Ankylosaurs in its ecosystem. But after looking at a couple skeletals, yeah, this is what a Daspletosaurus should look like. Just for some reason in my head, I always pictured it to be a much more bulky animal, so I'm okay with how PNSO portrayed this animal. And now for some measurements. I measured this figure along the curve of the tail. It is 10.5 inches long from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, or 26.7 centimeters, and about 3 3/4 inches to the top of the head, or 9.5 centimeters. So Daspletosaurus in real life was between 28 to 30 feet long, or 8.5 to 9 meters. So I put this figure nicely in the 132 to the 135 scale range. Now let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with the head. Now there are 3 species of Daspletosaurus: Daspletosaurus taurusus, Horneri, and wilsoni. Just looking at pictures of the skulls, I believe this is based off taurusus, which is the type specimen. Yeah, so very nicely detailed head. Let's close the mouth. PNSO is still going really hard with that lipless look, but the teeth are just nice and proportionate. It does not bother me like it does on some of their other figures, like the Torvosaurus and whatnot. So I think it looks really nice. You have these really large crocodile-like scales at the snout. The areas that tyrannosaurs use their snouts as a sensory organ. They found bite marks all over their snouts on a lot of different species of tyrannosaurs, but nicely done. The eye is painted yellow with a black pupil. You have all the ornamentation of the head nicely decked out in light brown paint. Some nice fine scale detail at the top of the head, and then going down to the lower jaw. Let's get the camera to focus in. All that nice scale detail all over the jaw, nice fine pebbly scales going down the rest of the body, nice folds and wrinkles underneath there. And opening the mouth up, we do get some really nice mouth detail on this figure. Beautifully done. You can see the nasal passages are sculpted in. Every time I see that on the figure, man, my hands are shaking like crazy today. Every time I see that on the figure, the nasal passage just brings joy to my heart. Just love all that detail. And look at the back of the throat. Looks like it goes on forever. Very, very nicely detailed interior of the mouth. And then going down to the neck, very powerful, thick neck. You see all that dark brown striping contrasting with the light brown on here. There's a little bit of a wash to bring out all that beautiful, very, very proportionate scale detail. We've come a long way from Wilson version 2 with the oversized scales. PNSO's really done a good job of making nice proportionate scales on their figures. Going down to the forearms, Daspletosaurus had the largest forearm proportionate to their body of any Tyrannosaur species, and is beautifully replicated on this figure. The end of the fingers are dry brush in almost a black color. You see the hand claws are nicely sculpted. Go down to the rest of the body, more folds and wrinkle. Very powerful looking hind legs, nice bulging calf muscles. Dark gray for the bottom of the feet. There's a nice wash over there to bring in all that nice scale detail. The toe claws are painted a nice glossy black color, and on the underside right here, you can see nice details for the underside of the stomach. And let's do our dinosaur. There's a nice Daspletosaurus butthole right there, front and center. And then going down to the body, nice long tail with all that nice striping. Looking at the top, nice barrel chest, very thick muscular hips. All around a really nice figure. I know it looks a little skinny at first, but if you look at the skeleton, you accept this figure. This is a really, really good Daspletosaurus from PNSO. Moving on with comparisons. First up, here it is with Colethe's 140 scale human. And next up, here it is with Safari's limited take on Daspletosaurus. When this figure came out, I thought it was a very, very fine looking figure. Pretty much captures what Daspletosaurus is, because it has those oversized forearms. Like I said, guys, got to use those clear display rods to keep these figures stable. My studio is like all dented up from all the years of recording reviews. I definitely have to get a new one. But yeah, both figures are nice. If you're on a budget, definitely go for the Safari one. It's literally half the price of PNSO's, but it's nice that Daspletosaurus is getting some love. We have a very large Daspletosaurus figure coming from Beast of the Mesozoic, which I'm looking forward to. Probably won't see those figures till around Christmas time, but yeah, at least there's some Daspletosaurus options out there. There's also one from Colethe. I do own that figure. I have no idea where to put it, but sitting down, it looks like it's taking a crap. It's really not even worth the comparison. And here is a group shot with PNSO's current Tyrannosaurs. We have Chinsusaurus, T-Rex, Zoochung Tyrannus, Daspletosaurus, Utyrannus, Tarbosaurus, and the new Lithodax. We'll be reviewing this one a little bit later on in the week on the channel. So yeah, PNSO's done a really good job giving us a pretty diverse lineup of Tyrannosaurs. Like I said, the Albertosaurus and Gorgosaurus are rumored. I really, really would love to see a Terra Typhonus from them. So yeah, but I know some people aren't happy that they're just doing, theropod after theropod, just doing all these family groups in a row. We have Holland God doing all these amazing herbivores. So there's a nice balance out there in, the dinosaur collecting community. Everyone just seems kind of really nitpicky lately, and we're living in a golden age of collecting. There's so many companies pumping out amazing figures: Reborn, PNSO, Safari, Colethe. There's just so much out there. There's pretty much figures for everyone's budget. So I just think the community gets a little nitpicky sometimes. I get a little bit nitpicky a lot of the time also, but I really think PNSO's doing a great job with their figures as of late. And let's do a few formation comparisons. Daspletosaurus is from a couple formations. First up is the Judith River. Here is Safari Limited Zool, and here is PNSO's Corethosaurus, and I'm just gonna hold her because she does not like to stand. And lastly, for Judith River, we have Beast of the Mesozoic, Dromaeosaurus, and let's just get cold to stand. For this, I really hope PNSO does some feathered raptors in the future. A lot of people want them, and it'd be nice to get some in 135 scale, but this Beast of the Mesozoic 118 scale Dromaeosaurus will have to do for now. And let's do some dinosaur park comparisons. Here it is with PNSO's Spinops, and next up, here it is with their Lambeosaurus. I think these two look really, really nice next to each other. And next up is their Centrosaurus, and lastly, here it is with their Parasaurolophus. So final thoughts on PNSO's Daspletosaurus. I really like this figure. When I first took it out of the box, I'll admit I was a little bit disappointed by how skinny it looks, but I've gotten over that. I think it's a fantastic looking figure. You know, PNSO isn't the most vibrant with their color schemes, but at least they go for a very natural look. I do prefer more vibrant color schemes, but I get what they're doing here, so it's not bothering me as much as it is bothering other collectors. But yeah, it's a damn fine figure, and I'm really happy to have this one. This was actually going to go on my nightstand display. That's where I put like my favorite figures, and this one definitely earned a spot on that coveted shelf space. And like I said at the beginning of the review, I didn't get this from AliExpress. It retails around $39. The link to AliExpress is down below in the description. So that will do it for the review. I still have the Litternax I have to review. I got a few other Mattel Jurassic World figures I had to catch up on. Got a bunch of new figures coming in from Holland God. I've just been falling behind lately. Just my schedule's been a mess. That's why the uploads in the channel have been pretty far and few between. But the next couple weeks, things in my life should be sorted out a little bit better, and I should get back to my regular review schedule. So that will do it. As always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.